What is going on, Axie Infinity fans? How are we? Welcome back. This is day number 3 of the card reveals, and trust me, I'm bringing the energies all the way up here because you're going to need it today. I'm joined with the beautiful, it's this side, the beautiful Ruthless Reg.
Hello, hello.
Me, we are excited. Reg, you got a stat for us, right? How many changes are we getting today?
There are a lot, my bro. Out of curiosity, we've got 32 Aqua cards in total, right? 31 out of 32 is now completely different. They have now changed, upheaved everything, and it's now totally new cards. And that is a huge number. Only one was not changed.
So we are going to be here for a little minute. Make sure you buckle up. Now, as you guys know, I'm a reptile. Normally, I'll be eating aquas, but today, I'm supporting the fishies. And I think we have some panelists with us today that absolutely love the fish aquas too. We're going to introduce those guys to you. Take a look. Who's with us?
Let's go. We've got Logic up left. You can start, my bro.
What's up, guys? I'm Logic, content creator and Aqua enjoyer. Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well.
Logic, your energy levels are going to be way higher in about 5 minutes. Let me tell you, bro.
Nice. Go ahead, Rohan.
Hello, guys. My name is Rohan. I am from Argentina, and I'm super happy to be here and sharing with you the Aqua changes.
Yes, sir. The Lionel Messi of Aqua right there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's go.
Go ahead, VMG.
Hello everyone. I am VMG. I am a Filipino content creator for Axie, and I have mained Aquas since my first day in Axie up until now. So I'm very excited.
Nice, awesome.
Solid.
And wham.
Yo, what's up, guys? So my name is Wam. I'm from the Philippines and from Metatate. Yeah, I've enjoyed Aqua since V2. So tonight's the night. It's going to be special. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yep.
Let's go. Let's go. This is our panel, everyone. These are the people who will be commenting and reacting on all that you are about to see. The chat is more than welcome as well. We see you there in the Twitch chat. If you've got any comments on anything that you're seeing, feel free to throw it there. But for now, we're going to go wild. We're going to go nuts. And we are going to visit all of these Aqua cards right now.
Yes, sir. As you know, we just said 31 out of the total 32 cards will be changing. So we've got a lot on our plate today. We are going to be moving as fast as we can through some of these changes, but trust me, where our attention will be needed, it will definitely be spent. Before we get into the cards, however, like we've seen on the other days, we do have some mechanics to explain to you, and there's a couple, so we're gonna want to read through them. Like we said before, every single card reveal like this is absolutely live. So I'm ready. I'm gonna enjoy your guys' reactions
It's going to be
as
wild.
much as seeing these cards, man. So let's jump into the mechanics. Reg, you've been amazing at reading these off the past few
Thank you.
days.
Thank
So
you.
you can take this one for me.
Awesome, awesome. Quick shout out though from the chats from Theban. Wham number one Korean Filipino is what he's saying in the chat. Well done, well done.
The
All right,
number
here we
one.
go. First reveal. 3 new mechanics. We've got bad luck. Bad luck is
Yep.
part of Jinx. We'll talk about that in a bit. But what bad luck does is it increases Jinx damage by 5 per stack. We'll see
Yes,
the
sir.
Jinx mechanic in a bit, but this is bad luck right now. Then we've got bubbles. This Axie's single attack cards deal bonus damage equal to 1.5% of its current HP. And then it turns into a bubble bomb upon reaching 5 stacks. So there's a few
5.
changes right here.
5 is kind of fat.
Yeah.
5 is kind of
That's
fat,
a lot.
but it might,
Yeah.
yo, we gotta wait for the cards before we make any statements just yet, Logic. Hold on.
Is the percentage the same though as before? That is something.
I think there's an additional 0.1 compared to before.
Yeah.
So they've
Okay.
increased the damage a bit. That is big. And then Bubble Bomb itself, now it cannot be dispelled. So there's no more Orandaing Bubble Bomb away. That's big. When this Axie uses a single attack card, Bubble Bomb detonates and deals 20 damage to all enemies. Fairly the same with the inclusion of cannot be dispelled. And I think that's new text as well, right? Single attacks are the only ones that trigger Bubble
Yep.
Bomb now. Not
So no
AoE, not
AoE bubble
multi-hit.
bomb explosions.
Awesome. So far, so good. Panel, what do you think, guests?
Bubble now it's about the Aqua's health
I
because it
believe
says
so.
of its current HP.
I believe so.
Before
That
was the
changes
enemy
things.
HP.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
right, Rohan. It used to be based on the HP of the opposing Axie, but now I believe it's based on your own HP, which
Yeah.
should be.
Yes.
It's like a Hearty Warrior in a sense, based on your
Uh-huh.
own Axie's max
Definitely will
current HP.
combine nicely with that rune for sure.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so far so good. Let's move on to the next slides. And here we go. We've got the actual Jinx itself. What does Jinx
Sure.
do? Whenever this card is drawn, your furthest Axie receives 10 damage plus 5 more damage per bad luck stat. Then apply 1 bad luck stat to that Axie.
So this one
So-
is quite difficult, right, to understand. First and foremost, what I read into it is your furthest Axie receives 10 damage. Now, I don't know whether these summons will be able to take that damage for you because it specifically says Axie. That's something that we might have to figure out as we go on and progress. The 5+ damage from bad luck stats, that's going to be something that these Aquas might be looking to take advantage of. What it means by saying then apply 1 bad luck to the Axie, basically the opponent who is receiving the Jinx card, right? Once that Jinx card takes effect, the Axie that put that Jinx card in the deck will receive a bad luck stack. Oh no, wait. Apologies. Wait, it's actually the Axie that takes the damage receives bad luck, and then it increases the damage on the Axie that has more bad luck stacks. Apologies, yeah.
Yep. And then what happens is there is no limit apparently to this bad luck stat. So the more jinxes that get triggered, what happens is you take 5 damage more. Your next jinx will deal 20. Your next one will deal 25, so on and so forth until that Axie goes down. And that's a new jinx right there. And then lastly, Giant Bubble. This is a tool card. It is based from one of our new runes. If you look at the substack of what it does, we've got a Giant Bubble rune that says solo, add 1 Giant Bubble to this Axie's card list. So that Axie will have 1 extra card called Giant Bubble. And what it does is it's a 0 cost to begin with. It's innate and it's retained. So it stays on the hand. It's at the beginning of your game as well. And what happens is all Axies gain 1 bubble if you use this. If retained, its energy cost goes up by 1, and it adds 3 bonus bubbles. So the first one adds 1 bubble, that's a 0 cost. The second one is going to add 4 bubbles, and that's going to be a 1 cost, and then it caps at 5 rounds. Which means you can add 16.
16
bubbles.
You
can literally wait a minute, right, and go crazy with these bubbles. Of course, you are increasing the energy in which it costs to use, but this is where the game gets a lot more in depth here. There's going to be a lot more decision making here. Maybe playing it early is an advantage. There's so much that comes with this, and it starts to open up, you know, our understanding of how broader the outplay ability is becoming in Axie right now. This today is going to be crazy. We have not even gotten the cards yet.
That's true. We're just in the mechanics. Wow. How do you guys feel right now reading all of these? This is all of our new mechanics, by the way, that has been introduced right now with this Aqua Day 3. What do you think, Logic, about this so far?
It's pretty fat. I mean, it seems like Curse is definitely still going to be an Aqua thing, so I kind of like that, especially with the Jinx and the bad luck stacks. The Giant Bubble is super interesting, so you hold it 5 rounds. You get 15 plus 1, so 16 bubble stacks. And then bubble stacks is capped at 10? Or what is the cap of bubble? Is there no cap?
Oh, well, bubble turns into a big bubble. Bubble bomb, sorry. A big bubble. It turns into a bubble bomb at 5, right? So there's no cap on how many bubble bombs you can actually have. You know, so as long as you're stacking them up, you basically can collect them. It being part of a rune, the Giant Bubble as a tool card, you're definitely going to have a team that's engineered, you know, towards these bubbles. So,
yep. So if I understand this correctly, for example, if it's at max stacks, you get 5 energy, you use this. What happens is all of your Axies get 16 bubbles, which get converted into 3 bubble bombs and 1 bubble stack each. So that is a lot of bubbles. It's going to be a bubbly day for the Aquas.
Yeah. Actually, Aquas has been known. Oh, I'm sorry. You can
go ahead.
Actually, I think one of the images of Aquas is they're known for the setups. It actually takes patience to play Aquas in V2, and I think this translates to V3 because of this Giant Bubble mechanic right now.
Okay, I think we're getting a little update here just to let you guys know. I believe we're talking about bubbles with this. It states here that this Axie's single attack cards deal bonus damage equal to 1.5% of its current HP. I'm not quite sure. We might have to update you guys later.
No, I got it. Don't worry.
You got it?
Yes. So what's happening is it's still the enemy's HP. Actually,
it's not the actual.
It's not your own. It's not your own. Yep. Just been confirmed by the devs that the bubble damage It's not like Hearty Warrior where it's based on your max HP. It's still based on your enemy's HP, of the max HP of your opponent's Axies. So that is a quick errata from the devs while they were here. So nice. Good stuff. And Rohan, you were mentioning something as well?
Yeah, I was going to say that I think the game is starting to make a lot more sense now that I see these endgame win conditions, like Giant Bubble at the end of the game maybe with Blood Moon, when everyone is low on health, it's gonna be a game changer. So
Yep.
I like it.
Nice.
I think we might see a lot more down that avenue.
Yeah.
Being able to end the game or setting up the mid game towards being able to end the game in certain ways. But I think we might just be ready, right? How we feeling, guys? You want to go on to these cards?
Ready?
Yeah,
let's
go to the
jump
cards.
right
Let's
in.
go. Let's go.
Boom. Oh, there's more actually. Sorry.
Ah.
Actually, this is just additional info for the same stuff we talked about in the first few days. This spell removes a buff, same as before, up to 3 stacks or 3 turns. Cleanse removes 1 random debuff from the target up to 3 stacks or 3 turns. And Cleanser is negates up to 3 stacks or 3 turns. So the only addition to this is it still works as before, but instead of removing the buff or debuff, you only remove 3 stacks / 3 turns. So if you're hit with vulnerable for 8 turns, you only remove 3 turns of that when you cleanse that, basically.
Now,
Not the
this
whole
spell
vulnerable.
has seen a nerf. It used to remove a lot more, I believe. So this is it's balancing, but I think we might see more dispel options. So it does make sense. So
awesome. Let's go. This is it.
yeah, I was teasing you for too long, but now let's do it. Let's start with these cards, fam.
All right, we've got eyes. Telescope is the same as all the other eyes so far that have the same idea of Blossom and Scar. If initial, select an Aqua card from your discard pile. Otherwise, select it from your draw pile. And then you banish it. You put the selected card on top of your draw pile. So it takes from discard or draw like all of the other cards. Clear is new. First, you draw 2 cards instead of discarding first. That is quite a change. And then you discard 2 from your hand afterwards. It becomes unstable now. Before it's banished, now it's unstable. That's one of the things that is to note of Clear. Sleepless is totally new as well. Same attack damage, but you now select to target the furthest or the closest enemy. You apply vulnerable for 2 turns on that axis as well, and that's going to be big. And then Gero, if the target has fragile, deal 20 bonus damage. Otherwise, apply fragile for 4 turns. And that is...
Shout out to all of those Gero eyes. I know you guys are out there, but what's interesting to me here is the Sleepless card. I mean, guys, you know, you're taking a look at the first 4 cards that we have today. Does anyone have anything that stands out to them?
What do you think, Wham, about it?
For me, it's the Sleepless. So, for example, like last season, there's this comp with double aquas.
You're cutting off. Wham, we can't hear you.
Hello?
No, it's good. It's good. Wham, you good?
Yeah. So there's this comp last season where you play double aquas, then a beast front, and you usually run the beast with little piece. Since now this part now, Sleepless has already vulnerable, you could like value it early on, right? So there are times that the beasts from last season couldn't even value it. So right now there's a good chance that you could use the Sleepless, given the option that you could use it in the furthest or in the nearest. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good card.
Facts. Anybody else got a card that they really like? Clear was really interesting as well. I think it opens a lot of options.
Yeah. Aside from Clear, I think the update with Clear has minimized the risk because before you need to discard 2 cards, right? But I think same with my favorite one is the Sleepless, because before you need to use a Beast Front with the Little Piece to have that vulnerable effect. But now we can comfortably play triple Aquas because now Aquas have that vulnerable effect, which is very interesting for me since I love triple Aquas. A lot more flexibility.
Well, there's a lot more surprises in here for you guys. So if you guys are ready, we can move on to the next slide. Trust me, there's a lot to get through. So we ready?
Let's go. There's a lot to talk about. Ears. Now, totally different ears. Nemo. 50 shields. Target any ally.
This card gets me every
Oh my
time,
God.
bro. I know.
Gain
I'm sorry,
one
but forget
energy.
about Nemo for a second. Let's just talk.
Wait.
Let's just go straight to
All
it.
right.
Look at the right side.
I
of
was
this screen.
avoiding that, but here
Why
we
is
go.
Tiny Fans
Let's
this
talk about it, bro.
Hold on. All right.
What
Let's
is
talk about that.
happening?
Yes, that is
Wait, what?
400
Yo,
up
Tiny
there.
Fans busted. Tiny Fan Loki busted. What the hell?
Yes.
because of this card for each level of your energy burst. So you just want to go for energy burst, get Tiny Fan, burst him for 400 damage, and
That's an Axie's
Okay,
HP.
so if we bring
Huh?
the level down just a little bit right now. The first time I saw this card, I'm not gonna lie to you, like I shit myself. It's real. Like, what do you mean 9 energy, 400 damage? Think of Tiny Fan as almost like a spirit bomb. That's how it was described to me. But think of it as like a spirit bomb. You're really gonna engineer your entire gameplay around maximizing the value of this card. It's very in depth. Let's take a look into the actual wording here, Reg, if you want to go for it.
All right, all right. So Tiny Fan, it costs 9. Yes, it dishes out an Axie's worth of damage. What it does though is that it retains, and then this card costs 9 energy. Right? It's written up there, but you reduce the energy cost of this card for each level of your energy burst. And energy burst is, for those unfamiliar, you start off with energy fragments. First round's 15 energy fragments. If you accomplish all of that, it turns into 1 stack of energy burst, and then you get 1 extra energy forever in your following turns. And then after that, it's 12 to get the next one, and so on and so forth. And what happens is, as long as your energy burst increases, Tiny Fan's cost reduces. So, for example, if you've got 1 energy burst, you've got 4 energy the next turn, Tiny Fan becomes 8 energy. If you've got 3 energy bursts, that means you've got 6 energy. Tiny Fan would also cost 6 energy. So it scales the more bursting you do. And this is one of the payoffs that I believe Meat Value and El Azul are talking about, where ramp is now a thing in Axie.
Ramp
You
is
ramp to
definitely
a
a thing.
payoff card, and this is one of the payoff cards that we are seeing right now. 400 damage on an ear.
Believe
Yeah, I mean,
me.
it's 9
Wow.
energy, but
Okay.
you can get Upstream Fighter, right? Which should get you more fragments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
yeah, I feel like you can
You piecing the puzzle
definitely
together.
play this. You just need Upstream Fighter for sure.
That's true.
And there's no cap, right? An Upstream Fighter, so you can play 3 of them.
I mean,
Um,
yeah,
as far as
essentially,
I
we will be
know.
reducing your damage quite a lot. It does reduce 30% on damage output, so there are some constituencies around it. But yeah, you're putting the right pieces of the puzzle together. But I think the rest of the cards will also open up a lot more.
Yeah,
But we have skipped over 2
Yeah.
other cards here.
I was going
so we're
left
gonna
to
take a
right,
look.
but we took 400 is an eye opener right there. It's an eye catcher. So we went for
Yeah.
Tiny Fan right in the beginning. One of the cards that actually helps this work is Nemo right here. Let's talk about that. Nemo is target any ally. You shield that ally for 50 shield. Then you gain a 1 energy fragment. Afterwards, you gain 1 bonus energy fragment per Nemo card in your deck. It's capped at 3 Nemo cards. And I believe we've got a lot of different Nemos. We've got ear Nemos, we've got tail Nemos. So there's a lot of options to fill up that cap at 3 Nemo cards. So that is one of the that's not the payoff card. That's more of the glue that makes a ramp deck work. Is one of these, but they're both
Logic
on the
just
same
had to disappear to the
ears,
shop or
though,
something.
is the thing. But yeah, I think
He's
Logic
gone straight to the marketplace. Left his chair.
400
marketplace is
couldn't
gone.
handle 400 damage. And then we've
But
got
no, I mean,
Bubble Maker.
Miguel, you play a lot of Aquas, like you've said. Reading into, of course, Tiny Fan and then reading Nemo as well, you can see that energy fragments and ramping up is
Yes.
starting to become like something that Aquas can do. How do you feel about it?
I think my initial thoughts are from the first early versions of V3. Aqua players would actually only stack the bubble bombs, but at this mechanics right here, I think we're encouraged to stack the energy fragments, and I think there are a lot of supports from the runes charms and additional cards in stacking up that energy fragment, making a setup for Tiny Fan. But I think Tiny Fan is only considerable in using against sustain comps at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Makes
it's a
sense.
big damage output. It's
Yeah.
definitely burst, like you said. Spirit Bomb. You're going to be playing an entire game towards bursting that much energy and that much damage out onto the opponent. So,
Makes
but
sense.
yeah, man.
And Bubble Maker as well is a return. This mechanic is return. If you don't use this, it goes back to the top of your draw pile.
Like
It's
a
similar
blackmail
to
almost.
retain, but not as broken as retain. So you have to draw it again. Target any ally when your turn ends. If not played, other allied axes gain one bubble. So you either use it for the shield or you passively not use it to gain a bubble. And that is a new concept right here. It returns to the top of the draw pile, but you passively get one bubble to each
So
of
you
your
can
axes.
just keep the bubbles coming and coming and coming, but you really have to, think about, okay, I'm limiting my card draw by one with this. So
That's true. That's true. You're playing with 4 cards. So that is a new concept, totally untested right now. It's like you're blackmailing yourself, but you get a bubble stack basically for that. And that is something that we'll have to figure out if it's worth it. What do you think
but we
about
gotta
it so
move,
far?
right, Reg? We gotta
Yeah,
move.
yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
got so much more still
Oh
to
wait,
go.
this is the
I have
first
a thing to comment.
first few
Like,
cards right here.
Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah.
Was that you, Wham?
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
So we know Aquas as this aggressive comp, right? So seeing these 3 cards alone, like Nemo, Bubble Maker, and Tiny Fan, you could play Aquas in a different approach. You could be defensive to get that energy burst up and use Tiny Fan at the end. So you could not play that super aggro Aquas. You could play like a defensive Aquas as well.
Yes.
So I think this is too much for me to process. So yeah.
It's a
Uh,
lot. Trust me, the
one
theory crafters are gonna be crafting.
one thing to think about. Yeah, honestly. Yeah.
Facts. Now, I want to see in the chat your variation of Tiny Fan because it should not be called Tiny Fan anymore. I've seen a few Daddy Fan, bro, go crazy with it. But
Daddy fan. Let's
believe
go.
me, the fan is real. Let's move on to the
Let's
next
go.
slide, man. Rohan, I know you're staying quiet, but there's probably a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
of thoughts going on in that brain.
Uh,
But we'll touch on it for the next slide.
All right, we've got Ear Still, Inkling, target the
Ooh.
closest or furthest enemy again. Very similar to Vulnerable, where you can now target whichever axe you want to target
Mhm.
between back and front. Shuffle a Jinx into your opponent's discard pile, and this is the new Jinx as well. This is the Jinx with the bad luck. So that is a new concept right there in 1 card. Following that,
Yep.
we've got Gill, which attacks all enemies for 20 damage. So now you've got an AoE card that's not Earwing, essentially. You attack all enemies and all allied axes gain 1 bubble. Totally new card. And then Sea Slug as well. 60 damage, half of the damage from before. But now you also cleanse 1 time. You gain 1 cleanser. It's basically a half a Sea Slug for half the cost as well. What do you guys think about this? Let's talk. Let's start with
Aqua's-
Rohan.
Okay.
I think seeing so many cards that can target the closest or the furthest enemy make me think that maybe we are gonna start seeing the carry axie in the middle, maybe.
Yeah.
Which is gonna make the game a little bit weird because you can just go up front and
Makes sense.
run over them. But I think that's a nice change.
Very
Yeah.
smart.
I
Very
think this
smart.
change is definitely, in response to the way that we've kind of been seeing beasts. Of course, we don't know yet. Beasts could be absolutely, there could be so many changes, but
Yeah.
having that back line as like the closer axie, this definitely kind of makes you think as a player. Again, this just adds more to the outplay ability, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. I really like this, honestly. I mean, I'm very biased. I love Aquas, but Sleepless, Inkling. I mean, you can target the furthest enemy with both cards. So I was playing a lot of Shrimp last season, so I'm kind of very excited on what happens to Shrimp because, I mean, Sleepless Inkling is already a base like Aqua card that's mainly
Yeah.
combined a lot. So being able to backdoor with it, super nice.
true.
Super nice.
That's true.
Mhm. Yeah,
That's
it kind of
very-
unisons. It comes together.
Awesome. Awesome.
Now the AoE charms make more sense
Yeah,
because
for Gil.
Aquas, had maybe 2 or 3 cards that
Yeah.
did multi-hit or AoE, so now it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Well, I'll raise the
because
suspense for you. There's more stuff coming with the AOE. But Miguel, you were about to say something there? Sorry.
Good. It's one.
no, it's me. Yeah. So
Oh, it was
basically,
Wham.
like
Oh, bad.
we have Sleepless, we have Inkling, cards that target the front or back. We have Gale that attacks all of the axes. So we're probably gonna see less front to back Aquas and maybe the rise of AoE Aquas, right?
Mhm. Hey, it's a thing. It was already was a thing, so well, maybe we'll see. We'll see. Let's move on to the next slide. I don't want to skip over some of these things too quickly because they are
Let's
huge
go.
It's a
changes.
lot.
But
It
we are
is
gonna have to move.
a lot. Yes. So now we've got
What that mouth do?
mouths. Mouths is, I think this is the only slide for mouths, I believe. So that is 4 cards on mouths. We've got Lamb, 95 damage. Target the enemy axis with the lowest HP.
Piranha.
Lamb deals 25 less damage per 25% HP the target is missing. So the weaker the opposing axis, the weaker the damage of Lamb is. However, if it's full health, you dish out 95 damage. That is a lot of damage for mouth card.
Everyone just went to that meme with loads of calculations in their head there, bro. Like I was reading that one and thinking, okay, so how much damage am I doing? But in my opinion, potentially a buff for sure for Lamb.
Yeah, yep. Totally different mechanic on Lamb, but buff, as you said, in general. Catfish, totally different now. Catfish does not heal at all. Catfish is another AoE card now. It dishes out 20 damage. It attacks all enemies, and all allied axes gain 1 bubble as well.
Bubbles.
So there's now an Aqua AoE sub-theme that is showing up, as Wam said.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got Risky Fish. If initial, deal 15 more damage and apply Fear to Self for 4 turns. So this looks like it's a debuff on Risky Fish. It used to be 70, dishing out 20 damage and applying Fear to Self for 2 turns. So now it's 85 for 4 turns instead of 90 for Fear for 2 turns. So this is a debuff on Risky Fish. Quite fair considering Risky Fish was the only mouth, I believe, on most of the Aquas in the whole of the seasons. Catfish is playable as well, but Risky Fish has seen the most play, I believe.
Well, Risky Fish was almost called non-risky fish because it wasn't risky at all. So like now at least there's a bit of risk with the card itself.
True that. And then Piranha. Piranha dishes out 50 damage. You can target the closest or the furthest enemy as well. You steal HP equal to 40% of unblocked damage. What is 40% of 50, for example? That is 20, I believe, is the number.
Yeah.
So that is...
I believe those bubbles will probably help that as well.
Yeah. So this is a 70 damage card as well. 50 on damage and 20 to take from the opposing axis to add to your own, if that's my understanding of this card. So that's a 70 damage card right there. What do you guys think about this? Let's start with Logic.
Lamb, it's I guess it's good as like an opener card. It doesn't I kind of like the fact that it kind of scales down. 95 base damage is a lot, but I think it's okay based on 25 less damage per 25% HP missing. So what is that? That's 95 or 25 times 3 if they're at 25%.
That's what I told you, bro. Them numbers be
10
moving.
damage. Hold on, let me get the calculator.
You can do the math.
No, I believe it's 95 damage, and then if the axis at 75% HP, you dish out 70 damage, and then if it's below 50%,
so at the lowest, it's 20 damage, which that's really nothing, right? So I think Lamb's okay.
Oh, 2 of our guests got disconnected. For anyone who's unaware, they're together in the same flat right now. So I think their internet got a bit haywire.
Yeah.
Because they just came from basketball, an Axie streamer basketball event. And Aqua's won as well.
The Aqua's won there as well. And it looks like they're winning today here with these card changes also. I think, like you were saying, Logic, Lamb seems to be more of like an early game card, getting some of that value in early, but when they have a lot less HP, it becomes a bit more of a hindrance, to be honest. But a lot of changes to these mouths here. Obviously, Risky Fish, rest in peace. There's still some usage there, but I really like the idea of Piranha. How are you feeling, Rohan, about the mouth changes?
Yeah, I was thinking that I'm super happy now because all these cards that let you target the closest or the furthest enemies makes the game a lot more skilled, because now when you face this Aqua type of archetypes, you're gonna have to predict who the enemy is gonna hit and you can get outplayed or you can outplay your enemy. So now you add this layer of decision that it's kind of 50-50, but still add a little bit of skill. So yeah, I'm happy
I
about
love
that.
this. It's like the poker face, man. Secrets are going to be a lot more valuable right now. You know, there's going to be a lot of hidden player versus player things that are going on in each game, which is crazy.
That's true.
I think we are missing two of our guests, but I think I'm so sorry, but we gotta keep this show moving forwards because we got still so many cards to go.
There's a lot.
Can we talk about Piranha a little bit though? So this steel HP equal to 40%. Is that like old Bloodlust effect essentially?
I believe so. Yes. What's happening now is because this was mentioned to us as well, that because Bloodlust was removed in runes, there was a bit of a feels bad moment for all of our Bloodlust players. But the main reason is we're showcasing it now is because you don't need Bloodlust anymore. The effects are now in the cards of the Axes themselves, and we see that in action like that in Piranha right there. So you're right. It is. This is why.
We back. The boys are back.
We're back.
Goodness, it's good to see you back.
Yeah, temporarily lost internet. Just Philippine things.
Yeah, but you went to the marketplace.
You went to the marketplace. Hey, well, the twist right now though is the fact that you are back as we move to the back cards. So let's see it. The one card that did not change is here, and you'll see it straight out of the gates. It is in fact Hermit. So sad faces for Hermit, but to be honest, it was already a good card, you know, negating all damage.
Makes sense. Should we move to the next slide? Yes, I believe so. Let's jump right to it. So Hermit here has not been changed at all. This is the only one out of 32 Aqua cards that has not been touched whatsoever. It stays the same. You target any ally, negate the next attack on the target. Blue Moon has changed in a sense where you still get the same effect of drawing a card, but aside from that, you can now target as well the closest or the furthest enemy. Limits changed as well. You can now play multiple Blue Moons. It's just that you can't draw the card from that other Blue Moon, basically. So it's now a bit of a buff on Blue Moon. So we might see a bit more of that. And then we've got Goldfish as well. 60 damage instead of 70. Nerf on the damage side of things. But if you have at least one skill card in your hand, you gain 2 energy fragments. So this is one of our ramp cogwheels that make the ramp payoff happen, basically. This is a cogwheel of the ramp team. Goldfish now adds 2 energy fragments if you've got a skill card in your hand. And these are our first of the back changes. What do you guys think? Let's jump to our Aqua guys who were away for a bit. Let's start with VMG.
Okay, so first of all, I'm putting the puzzles together. I think the cards that has added effect of being able to target the furthest enemy is actually a buff because you like get a free sun stamp and you can still put a charm on those cards. And I think Goldfish is very interesting because I'm actually a big fan of Goldfish with the 70 damage and draw card. But now you gain 2 energy fragments minus the 10 damage. So I think it's a 50-50 for me now. How about you,
Still the same. I think Goldfish is a good card since the concept of ramping up cards. But one thing I could think of is that all the Aquas that usually the players have right now are still usable given the Sleepless Inkling, Blue Moon, like the synergy of consistently hitting the back, consistently hitting the front. So yeah, I mean that's good. Like given the added effect, I think that's a nice thing to be added onto the card.
Awesome. Are there any teams that are formulating now? Any concepts of access?
Bro, Logic is in the chat right now, literally putting theory graphs together. So take the gems where you can. This still is early doors for sure. But there are a lot of combinations that are quite obvious.
Feel free to talk about it here. This is the right place to talk about it. What are you thinking about Logic in terms of builds?
I mean, you just go the normal stuff, Sleepless, Inkling, Piranha, Blue Moon, all of those cards can go closest or furthest. So you're already going front door or back door.
Backdoor.
I'm thinking Strip is probably gonna do the same thing. Hopefully, Copium. I'm
Copium.
actually in the marketplace right now on my second monitor, and I'm just like watching things fly off. So it's pretty interesting.
It's been the same pretty much every day though. Like you see that type of Axie just being cleaned out the market. You know, reps yesterday, same with today. I know it's gonna always happen, isn't it?
That's true. That's true. Awesome. All right. Let's move forward. Should we move
We
on
got another
to the next
back
slide?
card coming up for you here. This one surprised the. I'm not gonna swear, but it surprised me. It surprised me, bro.
There's a lot of text across the field. Let's start with the shortest text. Sponge. Sponge is 3 energy. It retains. Target any ally. Convert all bubbles on the target into bubble bombs. So that is wild. I had the devs explain this to me earlier today. Or the team behind this actually explained this earlier to me. So for example, if you've got 1 bubble and you use sponge, it converts that into a bubble bomb. If you've got 4 bubbles, which is the maximum before it becomes a bubble bomb, you convert that into 4 bubble bombs on that Axie. I see logic shaking his head.
Why, bro?
Right now.
Why?
I'm
Oh
going
my
crazy right
God.
now. Like, and
Oh my God.
All this is just making me go crazy. Like
Awesome.
Perch is like old Puffy. I'm
Yep.
forgetting
Everyone's
what
saying
the
Poppy
spell's
is
called.
back. She came
Yeah.
back with a new face or back.
Yeah, so Perch is consume all available energy. Attack all enemies, so it's a Puffy that swings at everyone. Base damage is equal to 100% per energy spent, then deals 20% bonus damage per energy spent. There's a Perch table as a tooltip as well on the right side to show the multiplier, to show the total damage based on the energy spent. And it looks like this is another of those ramp payoff.
It's a late
packs.
game cleanup, bro. Clean up on aisle 4. That's what they should call Perch, bro. Are you crazy? 5 energy, your base damage at 15. Your new damage is going to be 75 with a double multiplier. You're doing 150 across the board. Why did Gila not get up? What? Oh, don't even
Yeah, this
start me
shit
off, bro.
bussin'. Like, no cap.
They
it's
didn't
so
want to do
good.
Gila like this.
Attack all enemies. So
Gosh.
this is AoE, right? You go. Yeah, Perch
Yeah.
is an
Yeah,
AoE
bro.
card.
This is I will break your face.com. I
So
don't,
you
I
go
don't know,
like
bro.
Gil catfish Perch. Maybe.
Then you've got an AoE team.
And
But
you got an
Perch is
AoE
also a
Aqua.
ramp card as well. So it can work with the energy burst sub mechanic as well to just swing for 5 energy, deal 150 to everyone. So there's a lot of different things happening right now. Anemone as well, 85 damage.
Big damage on the anemones.
Big damage.
Huge.
Whenever played, this card loses 30 base damage though. So it drops to 55. And then the next one drops it to 20 plus. But whenever you kill an enemy with this card, all anemone cards reset their base damage back up to 85.
This
So
seems
that
to work well with
is
like
wild.
an AoE build because you know you're gonna force Axies into a lower HP collectively, and then early damage being high, somehow finding the way to use the card towards the end to regain damage and
True
clean up the game.
True that. What do you
But-
think about this, Rohan?
Anemone can go to zero damage.
It can, sadly. It
Okay,
can go
so-
to 0.
I think it makes more sense to play it with like 2 or 3 or 4 extra anemones. So when you kill with one of them, all of them resets. I mean, if you play only 1 or 2, assuming the other anemone is gonna.
I think they
do the
move
same.
separately.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
You're
the
right.
the reset it's all.
It's everyone.
Yeah.
All of them. Yeah.
Ooh.
So you
Yeah.
could have double anemone, save 1 at 85. You know,
Yeah.
continue to use 1 and then reset, and then you kind of like switch back and forth. So the anemones,
A lot
they
of
come in with a
sub-game.
different look.
No more heals.
Yeah.
No more heals whatsoever. And these are our new back cards. Wham, what do you think so
Wow.
far in general?
Search is interesting because it's like literally a new way to look at it, right, from the past. But I think Anemone's like the past Showstar.
That's true.
So Showstar goes through, right, 90 damage. So this is 85 base damage. you don't really you don't really need to use Showstar if you're not gonna kill the target. So it's basically the same thing. You don't really need to use this if it wouldn't kill. If the only reason to play this is when this is like one of the best cards on your hand. But yeah, the most interesting for me is the Sponge and Perch.
Awesome, awesome. Excited to hear that. A lot of new stuff happening right now on the Aquas. How do you
Yes,
feel so
sir.
far, Gila?
Bro, to be honest, I'm pretty blown away. You know, there's so much to change. I feel like this so far has hurt my head the most. It doesn't take a lot to do that because really there's a lot of air in there. But you know, we've got 4 more slides still to go. And as you know, Hermit was the only card that hasn't changed, which means the next 4 slides will have 100% change cards. So why don't we get right into the
Let's
next
go.
set of cards?
Let's jump to the horns. We've got Babylonia, 60 damage. Target the closest or furthest enemy. Apply vulnerable for 2 turns. This
Another
is the
one.
same as Sleepless, but on a horn. Totally different mechanic on a horn right there.
You can double up, keep
You
that
can double up.
vulnerable stacking.
Awesome. And then we got Teal Shell, 30 shields. Target any ally. The target gains 20 shield per card played before Teal Shell this turn. It used to be do nothing and get shields based on the cards used before Teal Shell.
It
but
was
now
booty cheeks before, let's be real.
It's
So
got
like the
30.
additional
Yeah.
30,
that's big.
it's nice.
It's a huge 30 right there. And then Clamshell. Big attack, 65 compared to most of we've seen so far, which has at 60 for effects. But this has the added effect of gaining 1 energy fragment if this attack causes unblocked damage. So there's a ramp gear here as well. There's a cog right here in Clamshell. First of our horns, what do you guys feel, VMG?
Hey,
I think I'm seeing a lot of the elements on the cards. I think the game is pushing us.
unfortunately,
play
Miguel, it's
triple-
choppy right now, brother. I
Act.
would love to hear what you had to say, bro. But honestly, the stream's not going to be able to hear it, unfortunately. But I'm seeing a lot of stuff in the chat. There's a lot more cards that want to get released and put out there. Hopefully we're in a position right now where VMG your connection's set. Maybe we go again. Try again with that one.
Yep.
My check.
It's still the same.
It's still choppy. Yeah, my bad. I think everyone connects.
It's still the same, my bro.
Yeah,
Chat's going
unfortunately,
shield
guys.
Ronin. Shield Ronin on Teal Shell.
Yeah.
What's interesting now
pretty
is
much.
Babylonia and Sleepless apply vulnerable. So maybe that's a nice combo.
That's true.
Great combo. Thank you, Rohan, as well.
yeah.
Initiative, bro.
Also-
Maybe you should co-host this, bro.
Yeah. Also, I was thinking that Days, the course card Days, is dead, right? Because Sleepless does not create any days. And also Shady Exchange, also. So maybe Days is get out of the game.
Potentially, yeah.
Right.
We've
You're
seen
right.
it phased out. I don't think any cards are contained. Well, no cards have contained it so far. We only have a few more cards.
Makes
and
sense.
I'm
Makes sense. There's another
quite
one that
confident
got
it's gone.
phased out as well so far. Reptiles, the stun has been removed as well. So we see a revamp on mechanics. Not sure if we've got those in the future Axie classes, but so far, we've been seeing a rework of a lot of the mechanics right now. You're right, Rohan.
I have also another question. The Inkling card puts the Jinx in the draw pile or in the discard pile? I don't remember.
I think it's draw. I really do think it's draw. Wait, I can go back and check for you. Really,
I'll have a
Because
look as well.
a lot of
Discard
card-
pile. Discard pile.
Discard
Oh,
pile,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So we've got that mechanic though. Confused the confusion eyes of plants. Put
Puts
it in the
straight
draw
into your draw.
pile.
Swirl does
Yeah.
straight into your draw as well.
Swirl
but,
as well. But
yeah.
this one, discard pile for jinxes. So
Yeah.
yep. Good shout.
Right.
Noticing that as well.
Well-
VMG, should we try one more?
Check. My
There you
check.
go.
Yes, we're back.
Let's go. Actually, I think with all the cards that I have seen so far, I think the game is pushing us to play triple Aquas, which is I'm a big fan of because I think pairing them with the other classes would have an effect on their setups. And so far, these cards have synergies with one another. So it would be very fun theory crafting for Aqua lineups. So yeah.
Awesome
Facts.
to hear.
Aquas seem to do well together, and that's like a
Yeah.
common theme throughout Axie, and I like to see that returning back to the class itself.
Yeah. VMG himself has been playing triple Aquas for a year or so in V2 and V3 as well for a while. So yeah, we've got triple Aqua believers right here.
Facts. Well, we still have some more horn cards to reveal to you. I think we have 3 more cards. Again, Anemone is going to be in there. There's some interesting ones. So why don't we transition over? Hey, save that till last. We're going to look at the other horns. Let's go. Let's transition.
Awesome. So Anemone, same as the other Anemone we saw. It is 85 damage and then gets reduced by 30. This is the other combo piece of the Anemone sub game. Oranda. Less damage, 55. Less energy, 1 energy now instead of 2. Target any enemy. Dispel the target 1 time. And you target any enemy. You can dispel the beast.
Snipe them.
Basically. Remove the rage stacks.
Snipe them.
Let's
go. I think somebody better call ADRD up because we're going to need a calculator for Shoalstar here. I don't even know what's going on here, bro.
Awesome. So Shoalstar is now not an attack. It's now a skill. And what happens is you target any enemy, whether it be front, back, or middle. If the target has less than or equal to 90 HP and no shield, you deal 90 damage to the target. If the target doesn't die, you do nothing, and Shoalstar actually dishes 30 damage to yourself. So this is a change to Shoalstar.
It doesn't do anything?
I asked this, and apparently it does not. It's like because it's not an attack anymore. It's a skill that tries to one-shot an Axie if it's 90 or below. If not, you failed the check, and then you dish out 30 damage to yourself.
You hurt yourself, yeah.
Hey, you fishies needed this, man. You too damn powerful. You needed a nerf, bro. Get rid of Shoal. Get him out of here, bro. He doesn't need that anymore.
I mean, it's a free rocket stamp, right? So it's just like,
damn.
Either 90 damage, rocket stamp, or
it's a cleanup. It really is.
And also, it's good for goldfish because it's a kill. It's a skill.
Yeah.
Hey, good. Hey, Rohan, this is why Lionel, bro. Look, straight to it.
Wam, what do you think about this so far?
The thing that interests me is that Sea-Slug being a 1 cost and Oranda being a 1 cost. So one problem of the Aquas last season was like breaking with 2 Nemos and everything. So I don't know what are the changes are gonna be, but one problem of Aquas is definitely solved. Kind of been solved in this like update. So I think that's fine. And I think having Oranda at 1 energy shouldn't be like that big of a commitment. But it changes with the dispel. Like it only dispels 1 time. Like is it like one?
Is it one stack?
Yeah, one stack.
So
or
if we refer back to dispel as the mechanic, it's now only going to remove a 1 random buff from the target up to 3 stacks or 3 turns worth.
Okay.
It's not as broken as before, but it is more functional than before by being 1 energy less. I think that's what they were going for, basically.
A lot more access for
on
it.
This.
Yeah, Wham, you touched on a great point there, to be fair. I think like storing these energy fragments is definitely something that the Aquas are looking to do, and that kind of moves us as the whole. The meta now isn't so focused or oriented around energy tails, which I think is massive for the game itself. So yeah, man, it's dope. It's dope to see. We have tails left, which I'm famous for the tails, of course, but we got some
Steven on the chats 1437 Shoalstar is the dude on the podium with a champagne bottle all the way at the bottom.
Bro, they needed this, man. They needed it. Too many of these cards are all the way at the top of the podium. You got about 5 cards standing on the #1 spot right now. So let's get into these tails. Ranchu is coming up, and oh my god, let me tell you, it's the last slide, so you're gonna be teased a bit, but
there's another one.
No, there's 2. No, I know there's 2 slides for sure, but the last slide has Ranchu on it. But we are going to go into the first slide of tails right here. Get the sniper out again because Koi is coming to get you.
Koi's big though at 130 damage. You can rocket stamp for free from the front or the back. 130 damage to energy cost. And now Nemo. Everyone has been waiting for the Nemo. Everyone has Nemos, I believe. And this is one of the key changes right here. Nemo gains 1 energy fragment for 0 cost. Select 1 Nemo card from your draw or discard pile and put it into your hand. So you've got the Nemo ears as well to select from. So that can choose that. Or a Nemo that's been discarded, basically. That's not been used. You can now select that, bring that back up, and use that as an energy fragment.
I honestly think the Nemos are all intertwined. The term select 1 Nemo card, I don't know, someone might have to correct me, devs, give me a message if I'm wrong on this, but I think they all link up, right? So you could be using a Nemo tail and drawing a Nemo ear card into your hand as well. If that is the case, then you're going to have a lot of deck fluidity, and then being banished cards as well, you're thinning your deck out as well, which is going to be huge for these Aquas.
Makes sense. Edumox in the chat, Nemo. And everyone's commenting at Nemo as well. Chuck Fresco in the chats with Nemo as well. Everyone is having a good time looking at these Nemo changes. Rush to 5 energy, Sponge and Catfish, according to Axie Cowboy. There's a lot of potential tech that is being discussed right now in the chats. This is exciting people up. Tadpole as well. Tadpole, select the closest or furthest enemy. Dish out 60 damage, shuffle a Jink. So this is exactly like Inkling that targets, that destroys the deck as well. This is our first of the new tail cards. VMG, what do you think about this?
I think the strengths of the Nemos from last season is its early potential to burst out the front lines, but now I think Nemos is going to be used for the late game, gaining that energy fragment. But so far, for a certain part, I don't think it's worth it at the moment, because you spend 1 part on an Axie and it just gives you 1 energy fragment, but other runes and charms and cards would give you the fragments. So kind of weak at the moment for me.
Makes sense. Logic, what do you think about it so far?
I mean, to me, Nemo kind of feels underwhelming. I believe Carrot is not a banish. Kotaro is not a banish. Which are both cards from what we've seen in the past that gains you energy fragment. Nemo's kind of nice because I guess you can like Nemo into another Nemo, so you kind of just ramp on that turn. But I mean, it's a banish card. I think that's what kills it for me. Carrot is way better. Kotaro Mouth is way better. Koi is interesting. Again, you don't need the Aquas in your team to be alive to do this much damage, and I like the fact that you could go front or back with it. Same thing for a Tadpole too. So it really does seem like Aquas are more so in this hit the front or hit the back kind of gameplay, which I really enjoy. It's really nice.
Yeah, facts.
Awesome, good to hear. So far, so good. That's our first of the tail cards. Any questions? Any harsh reaction so far? Everyone's happy with what we've been seeing. We've got the last slide. It's going to be exciting.
Are you ready for this one? I do want to say, just before we transition into this last slide, shout out to you guys today, because this is the highest viewer count that we've hit. So shout out to all you guys coming out. This has been such a hype reveal, and here we have it for you guys, the last of the tail cards. Ranchu. Awesome. Let's see.
Awesome. Ranchu,
go on, Reg,
is a Grandma's Fan on an Aqua. Attack all enemies, apply vulnerable for 2 turns. Grandma's Fan used to be 4 turns though. So this one attacks all enemies, dishes out 20 damage to all of them, and provides vulnerable to all of them for 1 energy. So that's quite a shift that we're seeing right now for the Aquas. Navaga is now a power. It has innate. You start the game with Navaga. And then what happens is whenever you have 10 energy fragments, you don't use them for energy bursting. It gets consumed. And after consuming 40 of these energy fragments, this is done. Navaga happens. And what happens is all of your Axie's cards are reduced by 1 for the rest of the battle.
So you're going to have to get your calculator out for that one for sure. But there's definitely something here.
And then shrimp as well. Target the furthest enemy. Apply taunt to that enemy for 2 turns. It's boosted in terms of damage up to 60 from 40. And there's no
Also,
more
no initial.
self-taunting. And no initial business as well. You just
I know,
apply
logic.
taunt.
I'm gonna go straight to you here because we spoke about shrimp earlier on. Like, how do you feel about the shrimp change?
It's okay, I think, just because it's only targeting the furthest enemy compared to before where you can target anything. So you can kind of backdoor anything there. But you can stamp this, right? Question mark?
Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
I believe. I mean, Jatster probably or Hale will clear it up on Twitter later, but I think stamps don't override card text, so maybe
I
not. You know, if you
see.
Earth stamp this or Moon stamp it, I don't think it will
Or like
change.
if you rocket stamp it, right?
I believe
You
so.
want to be
That
able to
works.
Potentially,
That works.
potentially, yeah.
That works
Okay.
potentially. Yep.
You can get a
So,
confirmation on that for sure.
yep. So this is all of our new Aqua cards. How you guys feeling with this? Rohan, what do you think so far of what you're seeing?
Uh, I mean, I think the changes are huge, so I'm still processing. What I was thinking is that shrimp does not taunt yourself anymore, so that's maybe the nerf part, because sometimes it was good when you taunt yourself
Yeah.
at the back or at the mid, but yeah, I think I don't know. I like it. I like it.
Awesome,
I
awesome.
like the changes. Yeah.
It's honestly, I don't blame you for being overwhelmed by all this information as well. But yo, VMG, Wham, you know our Aqua guys, how we feeling over there?
Same with Rangchu. I used to play Rangchu season 0, so I think the card like for 2 seasons, 3 seasons is a bit underwhelming. So I'm liking this new change, especially the AoE cards are introduced to Aquas. And back then people used to play Rangchu with paralyzing jellyfish, but now the Rangchu's effect itself has vulnerable, right? And the past effect of paralyzing jellyfish is already gone. So I think this is fine. And yeah, because like it's super lackluster, like the past effect. So I think Rangchu's a good card.
Awesome. Great to hear, guys. This is all of the new changes for Aquas so far. There's a lot to process. We can't see it right off the bat, but this is gonna shake up the metagame fully.
Oh,
This was
sure.
one of the biggest changes apparently for all of the classes. So it's gonna be a wild, wild ride that we will
People are
be
saying I
seeing.
need an instruction manual for how to use Navaga.
Yeah, Navaga is
Cafe
really
NFTs.
interesting. It's like
Too much.
I'm trying to kind of digest Navaga as well, and
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
a
gonna take
lot.
some crafting. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. I think a lot like this, like we said, this is definitely a shake up to the meta. But you know, we've kept you here for an hour and 15 minutes. I appreciate you guys honestly sticking around for this. This has been a fun one. Any last words from you guys as the panelists? Because we are about to close this shop up.
Aqua Life, baby. Aight.
Aquas, hey, show your love. Let me know on Twitter what your favorite Aqua cards are. There's already some stuff popping around, and let's continue this hype, man. We're 3 days into it. We still have 3 more days to go, so we don't even know yet if these Aquas are as broken as they might seem. But
Yes,
but yeah,
you're right.
you know,
You're
Reg,
right.
yo, we've had fun, man. I
Yeah,
think,
it is. Chat is going wild still. Lunatic in the chat, Extra Eye in the chat. They're saying this is a step in the right direction. Everyone's happy
Yep.
so far. Lunatic wants a bit more vulnerable stacks on Ranchu, but I think there might be a
Potentially,
lot
yeah.
of changes across all of these cards in general still that we're not
Yeah.
seeing just yet. We've still got birds, beasts, and bugs to show,
Oh,
so it's gonna be
Yeah.
fun.
wait, did we not see Telescope?
We did. Telescope
Yeah,
at the
we did.
beginning
did.
is the same
Oh,
as
right at the
Blossom.
beginning. Yes.
Yeah.
I saw it in the chat and I was like, wait, I don't even remember. It makes
Yeah.
sense why I didn't remember it, bro.
Yeah. All right. So before we head off, let's go for final words one by one. If everyone's happy with that, if they want to plug
Yeah.
anything, Logic, start with you and go ahead.
Yeah. Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, shout out you guys, Reg and Gila, you know, for being the host. This has been amazing. I'm having a great time just watching Gila laugh. You know, I've just been watching him a little bit and kind of giving us
These
reactions
cards are
on this
crazy,
side.
bro.
And to the rest of the guys here with me, I know you guys are all Aqua enjoyers too. So I think we're looking pretty good for
Nice.
season 2. And yeah, shout out. Actually, I'll wait on the other one. But yeah. Other than that, looks pretty good. Pretty happy.
Awesome.
I am.
Rohan?
Yeah, thank you guys for having me here, for inviting me. I really like the changes. I think that having all these maybe win conditions with the bubble, with the Navaga, and all that stuff, it's gonna make the game much more fun, much more. Um, you will have to put a lot more of decisions and skill into the game also. So yeah, I think season 2 is gonna be great. I hope so.
Awesome.
That's it.
VMG?
So I would like to thank Sky Mavis and Sir Nix and Axie for giving us the opportunity to be one of the panelists. For all the Aqua users out there, I would like to say Aqua Supremacy. I am very happy with all of the changes because this is a different type of approach. A lot of difference between the you see cards you click type of meta from the Aquas. Now we have to think very deeply in theory crafting and playing. So this is going to be a fun season for Aquas.
Awesome. And
Facts.
Wham.
Yeah, like what the boys said, I'd like to give a thanks to Sky Mavis and Axie for inviting me here. But yeah, I like the direction of the patch right now because all Aqua players out there know like there's a flow chart in playing Aquas for the past seasons. Like you already know what you're gonna play. There's not that much skill or thinking involved. But right now, with the introduction of the new mechanics going front to back, like converting the bubble into bubble bombs and everything like that, it really puts like it's in the correct step, like for better skill in game. So yeah.
Yeah. That was a huge thing we needed to tackle as well. But yo,
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to all you guys for being here as well. You've been amazing panelists, and it's been a load of fun. But yo, Reg, we still have 3 more days in store of this, man. We
You're right.
still have
You're right.
3 more days.
There is a lot more coming. As we said, beasts, bugs, and birds. That's a lot of bees that we'll be seeing. That is going to be wild.
Lunatic in my back.
Oh, there they are.
Look. Yeah. Do a little teleporting if you guys want to. Shout out to those guys. They also were just playing in the Axie basketball event that happened. Team Aqua won and Team Aqua won today for sure. I think me and Reg are ready to sign you guys out. Again, I'd like to say thank you for spending your time and being here live for the updates with us. It's always a good time. We got a lot more coming your way. Reg, do you know what tomorrow? What we doing tomorrow?
I'm not sure. Let me bring it out. It's gonna be wild. Let's have a look. So for tomorrow, it is gonna be birds. It's gonna be fun. We'll have a big panel with us tomorrow. It's gonna be Ralo, Avacin, Bestoko, and Crotes joining us tomorrow. So it's gonna be a wild panel. It's gonna be a fun one. We're gonna see all of these birdies flying in a bit. It's gonna be great.
Facts. Now, again, I haven't said this so far, but I want to give a huge shout out to our streams that are going to the other languages as well. We really appreciate you guys and for everyone that's been checking in. Today, we saw the Aquas. I'm a little bit heated. I can't lie. The Aquas are strong as a mother. Something. But let's not forget, that all the pieces are not here. And
right.
we are only going to know the true story once we get our hands on this game and
You're
are
right.
able to play it. I'm more excited than ever to play this game, and we still have 3 more days left. Thank you guys for tuning in. Reg, we ready to get out of here?
We are. It has been a blast. We'll be back again same time tomorrow. Stay tuned. I've got my friend and colleague here with me, Gila. Gila sees that is his Twitter. I'm Ruthless
sir.
Reg. That's my Twitter right there. Have a look, have a like, do anything you want with that. So far, we'll be back very soon. See you in a
We'll
bit.
be back tomorrow, bro. Same time. You know what's going on. You already know. Just don't miss it.